What will never be the same again once the pandemic is over? My bank balance, in the words of the great Tiger King himself, I'm never gonna financially recover from this. It's annoying how, seemingly, quickly my life went from talking about where we wanted to buy a house to discussing the possibility of moving back in with my parents for a while. RIP live music career, you will be missed. Holy shit, Tiger King feels like a decade ago. My definition of personal space. I've always felt uncomfortable when customers get too close to me at work. Now I just feel validated when I keep trying to step away from them. Dude, the pandemic just reinforced my stay the fuck away from me personal space. Now it's more plausible for me to want someone that far away from me. I just hate physical contact, and people never got that before the pandemic. Obliviousness to how many things I touched between hand washings. I used to work retail/cashier, and the way money smells is so fucking gross. I'd help count cash/store cash at open/close, and money just stinks. At the time it was like, yeah, it's gross, but I'll just wash my hands before lunch. Meanwhile, I'd be rubbing my eyes and nose, biting my nails, stocking food, touching my face. I'm genuinely wondering how I didn't get some kind of plague before all this. I was the worst. Traveling to cities like Paris and NYC, touching every handrail, subway pole and door, right before eating. Never once thought about it. Probably licked something off a finger at some point. Only washed my hands if I happened to need the bathroom. Don't worry guys, I'm better now. My waistline. I had finally started working out 5 days a week, eating healthy, going to bed on time, etc. I kept that up for about 3 months and 1 month into COVID before losing the mental strength. I gained pretty much all that weight back, and I'm pretty bummed. On the bright side, my younger brother has finally gotten his shit together and looks better than he has in years. I put weight back on that I had lost. Office life. My company has already announced that once we are allowed to go back, we'd only be going once or twice a week. It seems many realized how feasible working from home is. They told us we aren't going back until July. This is true. And even then we will be working from home 4 out of 5 days a week. Why would we use our electricity when we can use your electricity? I will not take hugs for granted. Yep. My mom passed away unexpectedly in October. Because of my asthma, my mom took extra precautions around me, and hugs were completely off the table. The last 2 times I saw her, I tried to hug her goodbye when I was leaving, and she said no. Of course I respected that, and we did an air hug. When I found out she died, the first thing that went through my head was the fact that I had not hugged her since January, and I never will again. There's millions of others in my shoes, and it's fucking heartbreaking. I'm an introvert, but I'm also a hugger. I'm in a weird place. A massive amount of people now know they can work from home. I knew I could before, but my overlords wouldn't allow it. And how little their companies are willing to invest in their comfort, refusing to look at it as a cost savings and a way of attracting talent outside of geography. Also, how awful consumer internet connections truly can be. Working in an office, particularly in Japan. I live in Japan. Going to the office and spending all day here is a deep cultural tradition. Asking your manager at a traditional Japanese company to work from home regularly is on par with asking them, hey, I just realized I'm Dragonkin, can you please work with the cafeteria to put live cats on the menu? You would get the same reaction. Even in cases of personal illness or family emergency. So many companies here, even in the early COVID days, flat out publicly said, no, we will never be doing that work from home thing, sorry. That's laughably naive. Then, the country issued a declaration of national urgency, not an actual emergency, as that would entitle the government to be actually accountable to the livelihoods of the people, just a very strong-arm public stance and shaming businesses into following suit. Literally those same companies issuing the statements above were scrambling the next week to get their staff safely working from home, online, using remote meeting tools, etc. So, that was a big game changer. Still, everyone was thinking, once the urgency order is lifted, we'll all be going back to work as normal. Well, the urgency order lasted a few months. And those traditional Japanese businesses saw what happened to their bottom lines when they no longer had to pay for electricity, heating, AC, cleaning, office equipment and maintenance, subsidized travel expenses to slash from work, soft items like coffee and snacks, etc. And so many of them now are singing the praises of a sensible work from home policy and planning for even long-term work from home options. Now the society is changing very rapidly to accommodate working from home. More people recently are less looking at buying their first house/apartment in crowded Tokyo outskirts/close suburbs, and looking more to buying 1 to 2 hours away in the boonies where land is actually affordable and living is better. It's watching a sociological essay/study unfold, live, in slow motion. It would be great for health outcomes if everyone did space out a bit. Everyone might end up better off. That's amazing. And I'm snort laughing at the Dragonkin comment. My attitude towards my entertainment backlog. Previously I used to look at my PlayStation library or my Netflix list and think if I just had a few weeks off, I could make a serious dent. I've had more than a few weeks off and my backlog seems if anything more endless. I'll probably be in the retirement home with that little voice in the back of my head going Peaky Blinders is meant to be good, should get on that. You could die tomorrow and never find out just how good Peaky is. Oh man, it is good. Ask someone who did time, they'll notice all the stuff we got used to. I read an article about a guy that went into the woods at the beginning of March and totally cut off communication for 100 days. He came back to an entirely different world. Standing next to someone after they sneeze. Today, I watched some lady pull down her mask, sneeze with her mouth fully open, spit flying everywhere on the product. When the line leader called her out on it, she got angry and started ranting. Left after lunch. As a nursing assistant, I will be forever oh so hesitant to get near someone, particularly the elderly who like to cough directly at you, without my eye shield and mask. What the hell is up with old people coughing straight at you? This is the worst. I'm in a salon that mainly has older clients and you'd be amazed how many used to cough while I was washing their hair in the bowl. So right at my face. All you can eat buffets. No joke, pandemic in UK started March 13th, I was super lucky cause my birthday was March 12th, and still is now I think about it, and I went to my local buffet and I ate to my heart's content. Chances are I was one of the last people in our town to experience the joy that is an infinite birthday cake. Edit, wow, amount of people who share a birthday with me and have seen this post seems too many. Fantastic. Or they could still do it but this time you order it and it is brought to your table. Probably self-serve buffets would need some upgrades cause even without pandemic the amount of kids just reaching in is a lot haha. Healthcare workers going to work without a mask on. Definitely took for granted seeing my co-workers' smiling faces during my long shifts. I've never noticed how pretty some of my co-workers' eyes are before this. I started my job at a hospital in May and it's funny to see my co-workers take their masks off briefly because I've worked with them for 6 months and didn't know what their face looked like. Drinking fountains. Some people deep throat the faucet. I work at a high school and the bottle fillers are awesome. It's the same water minus the nasty that kids leave in the water fountain. More of my kids have water bottles now and I have started bringing a gallon jug from home that I just bring home and refill when it's empty. I have a great insulated knockoff Yeti I just fill with ice and a bit of water in the morning. I normally get 2 to 3 times a semester and I haven't been sick once yet. Small businesses. As a kitchen worker, I am very concerned about our industry. So many independent restaurants have closed down in our town, like 1/3 at least in the past months. It's depressing because we all have a deep passion for our careers, and we're just watching it all crumble. Yeah. Mine died in July. Still looking for a job. Food delivery just being dropped off on your doorstep. Remember when you had to go outside and make eye contact like some kind of person? No more, my friends. Just leave it outside and I'll get it when I'm ready. No more scrambling to find pants when you're half-baked and hungry. I'm a delivery driver myself and I can tell you I appreciate it just as much on my end. I don't gotta deal with gross people or weird shit, just drop that shit off and run. Remember when you had to be home to sign for packages? Barbaric. I mean, yeah, now you're at home and actually could sign for them, but it's so much better to not have to. My delivery instructions are leave on doorstep, don't ring doorbell. It feels like food just appears on my doorstep after 2 episodes on Netflix. Oh my god, I got so used to this I forgot they didn't actually start doing it until the pandemic started. Subscribe for more hot Reddit takes in your inbox, guaranteed.